Okay, so for your actual printing part of this project, you will need printmaking ink, which is found on the shelving unit with all the tan bins on it. You're also going to need some foam plates. I'm going to ask, please, that you reuse these, so rinse these off after you use them. They're in the storage room about halfway back on the right-hand side. For the ink, now this is ink, not paint, it is not washable, so please be careful. You need just probably about that much ink to start with. And then you'll also need a brayer. This is called a brayer. It is a type of a roller, but it's specifically for printmaking, and it is called a brayer. What you're going to do with your brayer is just start spreading your ink around. Actually, this is a little too much ink, so I'm just going to use a little bit on my newspaper here to just kind of take some ink off. You're listening for a sticky noise, and that's going to tell you have the right amount of ink, and that your brayer is loaded up with the ink. So as I do this, you can kind of start to hear that sticky sound that it's making. Please make sure there's newspaper down on the paper before you start. If we don't have any newspaper, usually Mr. Rollman has some that we can borrow. So you're going to need to load up your printing plate, which is your linoleum, which you've already carved, with ink. So you'll just take your brayer and go ahead and add ink to it. Please store your brayer upside down like this. Then you need to be very careful. Hold your printing plate gently in the corners. Try not to get a lot of ink on your fingers to smudge up your paper. And you're just going to carefully set, I'm really shaky, set your picture or your printing plate down on your piece of paper. Now you can decide the size of your paper, and I would do a variety of different types. You might want to do some where you do them all in a row. You might want to do a square. You might want to fill a whole paper. That's up to you. So then if you carefully, while you're keeping your printing plate on your paper, flip it over. You can just use your fingers. Make sure you rub around to all the corners, the middle. Then to check, if you just hold onto your paper, you can peel up the corners to make sure that your print was successful before you peel it off. So that looks good, so I'm going to just carefully peel it off. Then I want to do a series of prints with this one. So I would recommend maybe doing a variety of different colors. So maybe you do another color here and another orange one here, so do some sort of a checkerboard pattern. It's really up to you how you do your color scheme. You're going to need 3 final pieces of paper with multiples of your Islamic tile. Feel free to experiment with how the tile might work together if you turn it around, print it in different directions, things like that. If you're unhappy with a print, please just throw that piece of paper away and try a new one, because like I said, you need 3 final papers that have multiple series of prints on them.